I gotta show you guys these new cloud backdrops I've been doing on my holo tags. It just gives the perfect setting for a chisel tip hit off.
Would you look at that? Just another size sticker.
What? This is my studio.
I'm sorry, Si. You gotta change your name.
Bro, there's no way.
Well, then what have you been working on this alphabet for?
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I have been working on the alphabet a little bit.
I'm the secret writer, and we need one final artist for Organized Chaos.
I feel like you're coming like directly at me. You gotta at least tell me the theme.
You can pick the theme and color scheme as long as they're based on opposites.
Okay. How about this? We do the opposite and you leave my studio.
Come on. Here's your name. Can't wait to see what you do with it.
That dude really didn't give me a choice. Guess I'm not making any more stickers today. Seeing as I'm limited just to 2 colors, I might as well pick my favorite color, green, as one of them. I always wondered, do you actually pick your favorite color at the end of the day? When I try to pinpoint why green's my favorite color, I kind of can only come back to the idea of like the springtime weather when the winter's coming out and you get all the fresh, like first time greens growing, and it's just that ultra vibrance. That kind of leaves us with purple as our complementary color, so I think that could work pretty well. So if we're thinking of like more leafy things, does that mean I have to do like green and purple cabbage? I think we gotta thank them for the OG colorway. All right, this is a little heady, but I don't know about you, but cutting through a purple cabbage, it has some of the coolest natural patterns I've ever seen. Maybe the artist in you gets a little reward there for eating extra healthy. All right, there's no way I'm gonna make cabbage my final theme here, but at least it got us in the right direction with kind of color schemes. Let's head over to left side gallery and check out what kind of shades of green and purple they have on hand. So I just got back from the shop and I started pulling out some other cans for the color scheme. Basically, I'm limited to just 2 colors. So my main fill is going to be the lime green and the purple here. And then I think I'm going to do this anthracite gray as the main outline there. And the orange was just picked up on the side because it matched this so nicely. I'm sure I'll have extra of that to play with in a future piece. It is decently chilly out here today, so I think I'm going to be packing in the cooler. Look at that. Looks like it was designed for spray paint even. Oh yeah, and I also got kind of like this bone white. Figured that would be kind of a nice off-white to match with the really light blue in case the blue doesn't work out. So I also need to be limited to just fat caps and skinny caps. So we're gonna probably stick to some creams, and then for the fluoro fat and silver fat, maybe for my fat caps of choice. Nothing in that mid-size, like gray dots, where it's kind of that soft style is quite allowed. So I'm interested to see the styles that come out of that and bring as many skinnies as I can just because they tend to lock up pretty good in the cold weather. Oh no, it looks like somebody left their black book here at the wall. Wonder whose it is. Huh, looks like a few things from E-Face. Look at that, E-Face hit up, just like the one in the book. So I know I said I was getting away from the cabbage as the formal theme, but honestly, I can't stop thinking about like fruits and vegetables that are purple and green. So hear me out a little bit. Beets have purple and green in the same vegetable. And then on top of that, like the green leaves are what kind of provide the nutrients down to the growth of the purple beet. So you almost have the contrast of like the above soil and below soil there, you know, connected with a vein of like nutrient transfer. And although the veins stick out as that like intermediate here, they're kind of connecting our 2 high contrast pieces. So you got the vegetable that's absorbing all those nutrients, but it's only getting those nutrients because it's got that spire poking up out of the soil and collecting all the sunlight. I'm gonna go extra fat here for the first color. Got our silver fat, one little lilac color. No stock tips today. Even in a modestly like simple organism, it has to have super high contrast between the functions of each of its individual parts in order to make anything like of use. Without those big leaves being able to attract tons of solar energy and transport them down into the root of the vegetable, you're not going to have any beet growing. That silver fat was so nice. Definitely going to throw one on here too. I'm sure you can hear the wind blowing. It's making the flare so crazy with the silver fat. And I think that's kind of just an ode to the contrast where you have to have both things that are very, very discreetly different, but in combination in order to make something that's lively and fruitful. So while I was curious about how plant leaves kind of turn purple, I was researching a bit and found this one situation where if the soil actually has too much phosphorus, you might actually leach some of those purple colors up into the green leaf. All right, I gotta be real careful how much I show you of the piece right now because you might be able to start reading some letters. But I think we're gonna run the bone white, check that out, see if we can do a little bit of the force field before we get too much into the shading and skinny cap sections. Cold temperature has actually made these cans pretty low pressure, so it's been nice. Like a pink dot normally does not spray that skinny. Guess I'm cheating the system a little bit here. Let's flare it out a little bit more as we get to the top. Might like the acute hard edge a little bit better. Save us from dusting a little bit onto the outline too. It's crazy, the sun came out a little bit. Look how much higher pressure the can is running now. Get this back on the snow. It's got 2 creams, and about halfway through the fill section, I switched over to the new can, so those are about half full. So I saved kind of the low pressure bonus side of each of these. So they should make easy cuts. Oh yeah, you can just hear the buttery valve right there. So the weather has worked in our favor. These cans basically feel like they've been on ice, but they're not too cold to the touch. Just look at that cut. We're about to get into it. This is kind of interesting because you're seeing how the environment of the root system is actually influencing the leaf's ability to absorb sunlight. Because the more purple and dark hues you get in there, the less efficient that's going to be at taking the sun's energy and turning that back into the vegetable. So I think the contrast that I'll focus on here is how, those veins can be either a good roadway or a bad roadway for nutrients. So we got a little issue here. Top of this letter, I totally ran out of room for, but we got plenty of snow. You got me doing that.
I saw it on the other side. I was like, oh shit, it's pretty sweet.
Am I covering you with snow?
Nah, dude, everything's good. I'm about to dip and shit, dude.
Oh, all right. Don't even have to do the white outline. Snow's there for me. We gotta check out how ridiculous this thing looks like from the back. Good to see the can sticking out as well. You can see we got some awfully harsh shadows on the piece right now. I'm gonna try to wait it out a bit for the sun to go down and get a good photo. Looks like I need a little bit higher durability sticker on these big guys. There's no adhesion left. I'm thinking we take some of these other cans, maybe do a little side piece. Our light blue and midnight blue could be a nice combo. So now, although the beet will grow in 2 separate environments, it has to be conscious of each other to ensure that it's able to survive and succeed well. So I don't know if it's too heady to think about this in like a philosophical sense, but you can see that in like your own life's inputs and outputs. Things that might not discreetly influence the output of your day can slowly work their way in a positive manner or a negative manner. And if you let those influences compound on one another, they can kind of cascade and either fail or cascade and triumph. And if you're in tune enough, you might be able to see what those good influences are and how they can support the good outputs. And in the same way, if you're conscious about what bad influences are and how they're influencing bad outputs, you can orchestrate your kind of route a little bit better. That was a fun 2-color jam. So we got Aurora blue on the light and then ocean blue on the dark. They ended up complementing like crazy well together. You can see we got just a white approach where laid in all the letters and then went green with a quick outline in 3D, and then kind of just one off back with the white where we cut back and maybe added some shading into the 3D and all. Well, are we ready for the final reveal? Well, I've got some obvious dues to give to the secret writer for including me in on Organized Chaos. This was a blast and definitely a big challenge.
We even did the snow.
Yeah, you can see the snow's already like started to melt a little bit. It's like you can see holes through it. And bots, I sure hope you liked the piece and the whole production for you. It definitely was a really fun time trying out your letters.
Come on, here's your name. Can't wait to see what you do with it.
That dude really didn't give me a choice. Guess I'm not making any more stickers today. If you enjoyed this, you gotta go check out the full playlist. There are 12 artists in this series, all mixing and matching names, and definitely show some extra love to whoever had me. That's gonna do it for me. Stay up.